I was able to record untold. So I remember taking it to a friend of mine who was already in the industry, a big artist, Nangamba. You know, so you know how you can feel at that very moment, you know. But amazingly, I was like, I'm going to push for this song. So everything started to work out on its own by God's grace. Fell behind me, everything worked out, and boom, we had Alibawani, we had Ntelete. After that, we had Ningomloge. Then the list kept piling. Sokalame, Jakwagala, and all those other songs. Yeah, I had a concert. I think the last one I had was an album release. Yeah, so I've been getting so many messages in my inbox now about what did you do, what did you, what did. So I was like, you know, I'm so much of I think I call it selfishness in a good way. To myself, I'm so into myself. So I try to get what they call it, dates, specific dates one of Serena, because everyone was like, to be in the cricket over. Serena. So I had to make those calls, try to have friends help me out, get a date here. It was not easy, but we make plans, plans are not this quality. So to Sobot Day and Jagalamba Nyimbo from 2011 till now. Breaking Dwako Baby Manange Monji right here. Yes, I have Andy Music as well. He's featured and produced some of the songs. He's featured as a singer, being a producer. I have Bruno K. Mali, you know the song. And now Benji Aliwali Maniga Benji Kasule. And so many others. We have Riyonga also. We have some surprise artists too. I won't mention, let it be a surprise, being Valentine's Day. That we're reaching to, it runs in the family. I think we had 5 children, we lost 1, but now 4. Everyone had music with them. In fact, me being the last born, anybody wanna, they are good at whatever they do. My sister could write, she could sing. My brothers as well. There were rappers in the house. These guys were multi-talented. Bawang music certificates, nice and money. You know, bank of one. I didn't just sent it. I took it instead because my siblings did not take on music. Later on, I was like, okay, can't I do something? Because most of the time when I was bored, it was music. It was all about music. Humming to this song, listening to several artists. I remember Chokolatia, you know. So it's in the genes as well. Then what made me? I felt bored at one point in my life. I was bored, like I felt stagnant. I felt I didn't have an identity, so I decided I first prayed to God, like I told you, like I explained. Then 2008, you know, Tasca Project Fame competitions, and I felt that this was my time. But before that, I think 2006, I had a vision. I had a vision that I could stage. You know how dreams can be. And then 2008, I was like, I had this urge to go and contest. Before you know it, I was thrown out of the house. Yeah, I think it was the 11th. Waliwo emisanga abantu gye bazza ne babinteekako ne tukola ki ne bangoba ne mmanya nti kangende nkole mu banka ekitegeeza byange bwe bityo ebikome. But when I came back, I met so many people. I met GNL, I met Steve Jane, I met all sorts of people, and they kept channeling me into that direction. Music. That's when I discovered that I could actually write. Before you know it, it's into me Chimbaka. So that made me. All those reasons I've mentioned. I was not signed wholly. There's another contract where they take you on. I was not taken on. It was just a distribution and publishing contract, and it was for the song Sokalami to be premiered in Africa. Every station had it. We premiered it here. Every other country in Africa premiered it at the same time. So It was distribution and publishing. At one point we were partners. They would give me artists to write for. I was paid like that. For example, if they need help with some of the artists' writing and stuff, I'm there. Yeah. So I don't know if I've explained it.
I can break it down technically. We're gonna
artists, the desperate artists, you say?
Sure.
The young artists. Everyone has a calling, like I've always explained it. Your minor calling game might not necessarily be music. I didn't know that music would put me on this spot right now. I was just having fun. I went for Tusker Project Fame competitions because I was bored. I've said this hundreds of times. I was bored. It's like I wanted a different experience. I was going through some things, and I wanted to like kind of I wanted to like find out who exactly I was and what my calling was. So that competition where I was like, let me give it a try. I didn't know that I would even, I didn't even have like faith that I would be the artist I am right now, because I was doing it, I was bored. I wanted to do something. I hadn't sung before. It was between closed doors, so walls, in between walls. Singing to my family as a hobby, something that I was so passionate about. But when I went for Tusker Project Fame, it was like an eye-opener. I discovered that I could write, I could compose songs, I could... my voice was not so good. I remember several people telling me that but because I loved it so much, I kept going. Even within the storms, you don't have certain resources. So in a sense, for example, go record this song. I had this stubborn nature that I would make it. So we go record this song. Thankfully, Steve Jane got me a platform. I was able to record in Terede. So I remember taking it to a friend of mine who was already in the industry, a big artist. So you know how you can feel at that very moment, But amazingly, I was like, I'm going to push for this song. So everything started to work out on its own by God's grace. Fell behind me, everything worked out, and boom, we had Alibawani, we had Nterete, after that we had Ningomloge, then the list kept piling, Sokalame, Jakwagala, and all those other songs, yeah. So the only thing I can advise a young artist is, what do you really want? What is that thing that you actually want to do, that even if things fail, you will still keep doing exactly that? Because I was told also many things. Bangamba, you cannot do it. Bangamba, it was Ligani. Bangamba, Tomala, industry, I was told so many things, but because I loved music, nothing could stop me. Yes, there were times when I was depressed and I was like, I think 2016 I was like wanting to quit music, but still there was that phone call or a sign, you know what, in our studio. It was either an Andy music call or a Monji or especially Bruno K. I think the time he came through for a song, I didn't Chita. But that gave me, that's when I realized that it was actually my calling. Yeah, to sing and to write, and yeah. So you should believe in yourself and love what you do, because passion overrides every other thing. Yeah, and God most especially, because we're not here by our own means. Yes, each and every one of us. So with little prayer, I was able to get lyrics. No one can believe that it's sort of sad means sort of one week or something. But it was 2 rockers, and I managed to write in Terede. Yeah.
Wow.
Tables a million. Ticket
Tebe etuuza abantu babeka.
etuuza abantu 8.
Kulerako ki?
Kumerako ebyokunywa, ebyokulya sirina binene.
Ticket bazigula wa?
Mama Pay. Yes, Mama Pay.
Pay *165# 20 hash.
Yes. Namba ya tables kweri 0785 390 270.
Okay. So, kirabika nga etiketi ezisinga zijja kubeera ku momope, and this is a disruptive innovation. Why? Gundi abadde atuvuza bubi olwokulayo okunasa ebintu bya tiketi, so ne batuleetera innovation eyo, and we thank those who have brought that innovation. Tekiba kyangu tulina bw'okikula momope, so that's one of the reasons that most of the tickets are going that route. Ekibuuzo, one more, two,
To
okay.
let you know, some had
Yes.
already purchased tickets through Quicket, and now we've introduced the Momo Pay kind of thing because people want an easier way to get a ticket. So Momo Pay is also part of it.
Okay, so Quicket ne momope. Naava Grey, is that what you say?
I think physical tickets. I think Lydia was
On the
shed
day.
a light on that.
Okay. Okay. So let's get another question.